Highlighting the best talent from throughout the year, the All-MLB team is the only accolade to evaluate the entire season and recognize the standout players across the major leagues. Where the All-Star Game recognizes the top stars of the first portion of the season, the All-MLB team pays tribute to the best players of the entire season. Curious to know who made the cut? Keep watching then. First up, an explanation about the All-MLB team's formation. It truly was a night of celebration on Monday at the winter meetings as the fourth All-MLB team was announced. The team, which is comprised of the cream of the crop in Major League Baseball, is selected through a process of fan votes and expert opinions. Adding to that, each team includes one catcher, one first baseman, one second baseman, one shortstop, one third baseman, one designated hitter, 3 outfielders, 5 starting pitchers, and 2 relievers. Moving on, how the Houston Astros absolutely dominated this year's teams. Before we dive into the details about who made it to the list this year, let's talk about the Houston Astros. Not only did the Astros emerge as the champions of this year's World Series, 9 of their players were shortlisted for the All-MLB team. Now, isn't that a huge accomplishment in itself? What's more, 6 out of those 9 nominated players actually ended up on the list. Let's talk more about the Astros whose names were on the first team. Firstly, we've got Jose Altuve, the renowned second baseman who has certainly been a powerhouse in the World Series. Being a 2-time champ and all, he's absolutely dominant when it comes to home runs, on-base percentage, slugging, and run scoring, not to mention racking up 158 hits and 57 runs batted in, all hailing from the 32-year-old. Then it was Yordan Alvarez, who's shown this season, becoming an all-star with a huge 37 home runs and 97 RBI campaign. It was a triple threat with 78 walks, 29 doubles, and a top 5 batting average, all helping to secure 4th in walks and 5th in RBI in the AL. And of course, Justin Verlander made history with a stellar season in 2022 by racking up 18 wins and a jaw-dropping 1.75 ERA. The 39-year-old pitcher solidified his place in baseball history. His stats trumped Pedro Martinez's 1.74 earned run average ERA from his Cy Young season of 2000, making Verlander an undeniable ace despite his age. Moving on, Framber Valdez had a breakout year, going 17-6 with an impressive 2.82 ERA. When it came time to prove himself in the playoffs, Valdez was lights out and went 3-0 in 4 games. His constant dominance was evidenced by his MLB record-setting run of 25 consecutive quality starts, not to mention there were 2 more Astros, but on the second team. On the second team, we have Ryan Presley, the ace of the relief pitching game. His 3-3 record coupled with 33 saves and an impressive 2.98 earned run average saw him rank among the American League's leading figures in saves, save percentage, opponent on base, and their on-base plus slugging, an impressive career high for the 33-year-old. But there's also Kyle Tucker, who gave the Astros an outfield performance to remember. In 150 games this season, he achieved a remarkable 71 runs, 28 doubles, 30 homers, and a career-best 107 RBIs. An impressive feat. He was the only MLBer with 30 dingers and 25 stolen bases. Coming up, the catchers of the 2 teams. On the first team, there's JT Realmuto from the Philadelphia Phillies. Realmuto isn't just an extraordinary offensive player, but an unbeatable force behind the plate. He achieved a 2020 season and became only the second catcher in AL/NL history to do so. To boot, he kept the Phillies afloat with a .336 batting average, 33 RBIs, and 9 home runs during Harper's thumb injury. Truly, Realmuto is a force like no other. The catcher for the second team happens to be Will Smith of the Dodgers. This was his first All-MLB team spot due to his impressive season with the Dodgers. He hit 24 homers, drove in 87 runs, and maintained a .260 average, .343 on-base percentage, .465 slugging percentage, and achieved a 120 OPS plus rating. What's more, here are the first and second basemen. For our first team, we've got Paul Goldschmidt on first base, who's no stranger to success, having been crowned MVP of the National League and included on the All-MLB team this season. His outstanding performance this year included a .317 average, 35 homers, 115 RBIs, plus leading the NL in slugging, OPS, and OPS+. The second baseman for the first team is Jose Altuve, and we've already mentioned him a couple of moments before. Our second team's first baseman is Freddie Freeman, who made a splash in his first season with the Dodgers, providing an NL leading .407 OBP, 21 home runs, and 100 RBIs, not to mention a career career-high 13 stolen bases, 199 hits, and 47 doubles, it's no wonder he earned 4th in NL MVP voting. Then the second baseman for the second team is Andres Gimenez, who bloomed this season, gaining an All-MLB team selection, All-Star status, and a Gold Glove. His .837 OPS, 17 HR, and 20 SB earned him 16 defensive runs, saved, and a spot among the league's top second basemen. Following up, who's playing shortstop? The shortstop on the first team is Trea Turner from the Dodgers, who had a pretty fantastic season. He showed off his skills with 21 homers, 27 stolen bases, 39 doubles, and 100 RBIs while clinching an impressive batting average. He became part of an exclusive group of shortstops that's accomplished 20 homers, 20 steals, 35 doubles, and 100 RBIs. Then there's Francisco Lindor of the Mets for the second team. Lindor delivered an impressive rebound season, with the Mets earning his first All-MLB team recognition. Up next, Manny Machado and Nolan Arenado made it to the third base. Manny made it to the first team while Arenado found his name on the second team. Manny Machado came in second for National League MVP, and not to be outdone, Nolan Arenado, who was shortlisted for third, picked up his own awards for the year. Machado, who was on the first All-MLB team for 2020, clinched his second in light of the last 3 seasons, after notching 32 home runs and 102 RBIs. Meanwhile, Arenado snagged the Gold Glove and Silver Slugger awards as well as his first All-MLB team selection on the second team. He hit an impressive .293 with 30 home runs and 103 RBIs. Now for the outfielders of the first team, he had a spectacular season, and Aaron Judge of the Yankees was the one to sweep up the crown for the AL MVP award. He broke the record with 62 homers, 131 RBIs, 133 runs, a .425 OBP, a .686 SLG, 1.111 OPS, 211 OPS plus, and a whopping 391 total bases. Mookie Betts of the Dodgers followed suit with 40 doubles, 12 swipes, 117 runs, and a phenomenal 35 home runs to add to the honor of the 6th Gold Glove Award, 5th Silver Slugger, and 6th All-Star selection. With injuries keeping Mike Trout off the All-MLB team for the first time in 2020, he's back where he deserved to be, the first team for the third time in 4 seasons. He hit 40 home runs at 119 games and achieved an impressive .999 OPS with his 10th All-Star selection and 9th Silver Slugger award. Coming up, the second team's outfielders. Julio Rodriguez made an impressive debut with the Mariners, tallying 28 homers and stealing 25 bases on his way to the AL Rookie of the Year award, an All-Star appearance, a Silver Slugger award, and the 7th spot in AL MVP voting. Meanwhile, Kyle Schwarber shocked the NL with an incredible 46 long balls, 94 RBIs, and an impressive 10 thefts, a personal high. The third player who made it to the second team is Kyle Tucker from the Astros. Moving on, the designated hitters. We've already talked about Yordan Alvarez of the Astros. His name was on the first team, and we're so proud to see him as the designated hitter here. On the second team, we have Shohei Ohtani from the Angels. Ohtani put on a show in 2022, swapped his first team DH to second team pitcher, but offensively recorded 34 HRs, 30 doubles, 6 triples, 95 RBIs, and 11 SBs. Let's look at the starting pitchers for the first team. So we've got Ohtani, Verlander, and Valdez, but we also have Sandy Alcantara and Alek Manoah. Sandy Alcantara of the Marlins topped the majors in innings with no competition for the NL Cy Young Awards thanks to his 2.28 ERA. Manoah of the Blue Jays saw a career-best year of 16-7 along with a 2.24 ERA and 180 strikeouts. He gained recognition finishing third in the AL Cy Young voting. What's more, the second team starting pitchers, Julio Urias, validated his place as one of the National League's most competent pitchers, collecting the second team selection for the second consecutive season. His incredible displays earned him the coveted position of third in the NL Cy Young Awards candidates as the Southpaw reached 17 wins with a 2.16 ERA in 31 starts. Dylan Cease from the AL sector claimed second place with a whopping 227 strikeouts in 184 innings. A much-deserved first-team selection for 2020, Max Fried claimed both second-team nods for 2021 and 2022, culminating a 14-7 season with a 2.48 ERA across 30 starts. Aaron Nola conducted a remarkable comeback after a 4.63 ERA performance the year before, stringing 3.25 ERA over 32 starts, coupled with 235 strikeouts in 205 innings, enough to garner fourth in the NL Cy Young candidates. Finally, the three-time Cy Young winner, Max Scherzer, still proves to be a massive presence despite injuries, restricting him to 23 starts, amassing 173 strikeouts and a remarkable 2.29 ERA, following up Edwin Diaz and Emmanuel Clase as relief pitchers of the first team. Diaz dominated on the mound this season with a 1.31 ERA across 61 appearances and 32 saves. He racked up an impressive 118 strikeouts in 62 innings. Clase also put up a formidable 1.36 ERA and notched a whopping 42 saves with 77 appearances and 67 games finished. Lastly, the Ryans as the relief pitchers for the second team. Ryan Helsley burst onto the scene during the season's second half, becoming a dynamo closer. Given 54 appearances, he provided 19 saves, 94 strikeouts, and a sparkling 1.25 ERA. This led to his first All-Star Game selection and a 12th place finish in NL Cy Young voting. Similarly, another right-hander, Ryan Presley, had a good year for Houston's bullpen, which was MLB's tops at 2.80. He conducted the year with 33 saves and a 2.98 ERA. That's a wrap for this video. What are your thoughts on this year's All-MLB team? Let us know in the comments below. Please make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.